Tommy, and in today's video, or more of a assessment, I'd say, is regarding the 5 students that were brutally killed by the cartel. Now, this is a topic in which I wanted to touch base on for, I'd say, a month now. It's just one of those that really struck you in the back, in the back of the mind. It really attacks you interpersonally, right? It also affects, your ideology of teenagers in their well-beings that may be altered by wrong decision making. And today's word of understanding would be not to be desperate. This storyline of these 5 poor college students, I believe they were desperate for a job, which landed in the hands of the wrong employers. Now, when I mean landed in the wrong hands, I'm exactly extrapolating that it entirely depends on who and where you go to retain a job. You have to understand that not everyone is a food bank, right? You're not going to catch fish in all waters, right? And that saying derives from, being desperate isn't always going to get you what you want, right? It's more so of delegating to, constructive and understanding paths and delegations that can enable you to achieve something in the long run. Now, when you're desperate, regardless of what you do, it's really difficult to find, a crevice of light, because you're doing everything under pressure. You're doing everything under the willingness of unknowing, the wrong side or the bad side or the outcome. Being desperate never tells you the outcome until it's time. And a good analogy would be someone that's a predator, right? They're desperate for sex, right? They want to meet up with a child for presumable sexually conducted activities, which in contact makes the individual desperate, because why else would you be willingly doing that, voluntarily doing that, if you weren't desperate? You're clearly doing that because you're desperate. You want to have sex, and clearly that's not what you got, because now that you've been caught, you want to play the victim. But really, was that set up on you, or did you bring that up on yourself primarily due to being desperate? Same scenario goes for these children. But unless, whilst the predator is doing something wrong, these kids are not. And it's extremely tragic, and I'm going to be sort of expanding on this today. So if I could pull up an image, I can't show everything, but these were the 5 students that presumably wanted a job in that nature, for financial gain. I guess, I know us being students, I could see the same for you guys. We all know how it feels when you have money and you're still a student, you're trying to make some money. I understand that. We're all making money, right? We're all trying to make money, so I understand, their willingness to, want to make a few dollars and such, but for it to turn on them wasn't, I guess, looked into. So this whole mysterious and tragic disappearance of 5 students that had baffled and shocked the local community, they took an even more sinister turn when the 5 students who reported missing on Friday, I believe. This was a while back, so it was a Friday, so just before the weekend, had been absent before the chilling video footage surfaced, which was adding a distressing layer to the ongoing investigation. So this situation has a case file attached to it that shows a video of these 5 individuals. As you can see right here, it shows all 5 of these individuals. And we may or may not be showing it in this video, so I'll probably add it in at the end. If not, then it's most likely going to get striked, so we're just going to alleviate that from happening. We're not going to be adding it. I might add a clip of it, but blurred, so just viewer discretion is advised. So the heart-wrenching video footage brought the gravity of the situation to the forefront, and also bring it on humanevents.org, humanevents.com. It's a website with a lot of confidential information that really touches base on political breaches and agendas. This was all over CBC. This was also on other American sites, Mexican sites, and tapped into Canadian sites as well. That's beside the point. So it captured the harrowing final moments of the young friends, which is all in their 20s, so that's like college students basically. Their faces brushed and battered bore the mark of the horrors they had endured. The use of duct tape cruelly placed over their mouths spoke volumes about their tormentous intent to silence them, perhaps forever, as if to taunt the viewers and claim responsibility. The unmistakable sign of notorious Cartel was displayed on the wall behind the helpless student. Now, this exactly stipulates that, as these 5 individuals sit in front, having a Cartel logo. I'm not sure what this symbolizes right here, but I assure you it has some sort of symbolization. Really shows a sense of, eerie and like an imposition, right? This improper imposition of this really dark felt place. Like, where even is this? Like, this looks like it's a basement that have gotten crops grown in it, or this is somewhere out in some cornfield behind of some fucking building, and they're making this take place. Now, just based off this image, we know that these individuals didn't survive the ordeal. Come on, like, it's really hard to believe and bag it that these individuals have made it out with the severity of the circumstance. It's just baffling to see. And this has happened not too long ago as well. You guys can see the date just on top. I believe that's August, if I'm not mistaken. August 19th, like, that was like fucking yesterday. And for our modernized society to, I mean, then again, it happened in a third world country, so I'm not surprised, right? These ideologies are, constantly breached, so it's just upsetting. So the victims were identified to be Jane Adolph Martinez Miranda. I apologize for the name mispronunciations. 21, Dante Cadelio Hernandez was 22, Diego Alberto Lara Santillo and Roberto Olmeda Collier, both 20 years old. Uriel Gonzalez was the youngest, just 19 years old. I'm 19 years old, so seeing something like this is absolutely upsetting. It really is. It really is. You know, you gotta really feel for people like this, and you know, just gotta give your prayers out to the families, because this is just cruel. Like, this is just inhumane. Like, for the cartel to be so heartless, so cold, kill a bunch of teens that simply wanted to make some money. I spit on their grave. I spit on the cartel's grave. How could you? How could you? Like, these poor people, like, I know I can't really do anything about it, right? But, you know, putting my eye in, you know, a litigious group, it's just, like the severity of it's so insane, and, like, no one really fucks with the cartel. I don't, like, nobody does, but it's just, like, for them to be so heartless and kill just students, it's just wrong. It's just absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely and utterly disgusting. So the bleak saga continued when a fateful Wednesday, authorities made a disturbing discovery in Jalisco, Mexico, in what is believed to be the same house featured in the video. Investigators uncovered the remains for individuals, their skulls horribly charred and shattered, and another gruesome discovery awaited them. A body found in a burning car was later confirmed to be one of the missing students. So now we know one of the missing students have been burned alive, which is just fucking insane. On Thursday, new information emerged that might explain the events leading up to their tragic end. Now, reports suggested that these young individuals have been lured under the guise of employment opportunities, just like I've mentioned. Now, these false promises, well, it seems, were nothing more than sinister ploy by the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, the GNGC, or the JNGC, to abduct them. So this cartel organization, which specifically organizes in these events that sort of luring teenagers, luring individuals that are desperate for employment, and they just really take them under that belt of naive and indoctrinating these students to believe that they may or, you know, may not get, well, that's the outcome, but may get these employment opportunities for their personal financial gain. Now, that does not utterly happen. What happens is complete, like, opposite. It's just the fucking worst way to go. Like, it's the worst. Imagine, like, put yourself in their shoes. Imagine you and your friends try to get a job in a group, right? Like as a group, right? Whether you guys being girls, guys, or whatever, you guys all just want the same job, right? So you can see familiar faces when you come into work. Now, you not knowing the outcome, you're thinking, oh, I'm just gonna get a job with my friends. That turning into an absolute fucking nightmare, which fucking scares me. That fucking scares me. Now, according to David Sacito Torres, an expert in security analysis, the cartel may have adopted a devious recruitment strategy. He shed light on the alleged operations of call centers under the cartel's control, where unsuspecting individuals are enticed with lucrative job offers. However, once they step in, the true nature of their employment becomes clear. Work for the cartel or face death, which these boys may have turned down or declined, which honestly would have resulted in death either way. Because let's say if you're part of the cartel, you try to escape, they're gonna end up finding you, and it's gonna be even worse. Because what happens is, as I've seen in various documentaries and investigations, they target the families, right? So it's either you take yourself or you take your family, which is Lagos de Moreno. They were returning home blissfully, unaware of the grim fate awaiting them for them to not survive the ordeal. Now their last moments of freedom, as recounted by a witness to a reporter from El Universal, involved in a violent confrontation. 10 men ambushed them, forcibly removing them from their vehicle and shoving them into a white pickup truck and another van, more SUV. Its windows ominously blacked out. The last known communication from the group came in the form of a text message. One of the students, presumably trying to allay any fears, messaged a family member to inform them they were heading home. Tragically, they never made it. They hadn't survived the ordeal. Now, this is bad, right? This is extremely bad. This is something that can never be forgotten, right? These individuals will go down in history.